Okay, I'm kidding. We are actually live now, though. Tony, take it away.
All right, we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vasinda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy in the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desires to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and great players who help discover amazing designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way is just sitting down and playing those games. Keegan, Twitch hasn't showed that we're live yet. Are you just screwing with me?
I'm looking
No.
at it right now, buddy.
Are we?
You know what's weird? Maybe I fucked up. Because the Twitch. Yeah, one sec. I'm gonna click end stream. We're just gonna try it over again.
No, I can see us now. I refreshed. We're good now.
Yeah, I got the notification. We're good.
Oh, cool. I was
Hey,
like, I
Gorgor
thought I
Big
got a
in chat
notification
says,
on my phone.
Looks live.
Yeah.
Looks live to me.
You know what's weird
from
is the
Gorgor.
stream chat's not showing up on Streamlabs either.
And
So I was like,
so-
maybe it is messed up, but I don't know.
No, we're
no,
here.
no, it's just
happening.
enough lag for me to be like, I'm totally feeling Keegan out on this because I could 100% see Keegan messing with me. Aaron MF King in the chat just said, I just drank 3 beers and got this crazy idea. What if I kill Santa? Hold on, let me rewrite
Ooh.
tonight's adventure a little bit.
I'm pretty sure that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
plot of
Based on that
the
input.
Santa Claus. Am I wrong?
Aaron King,
Technically, no.
I can't wait to come out with the Santa Claus expansion of this. But
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
yeah, so tonight we're actually playing my game. So great designers, question mark is probably a better way to do that. But I'm very excited by the crew that we have rolling here. So Santacidesquad is basically for the game is one part Suicide Squad, one part the Italian Job. So classic mixes of heists and reverse heists, mixed with your favorite Christmas claymation movies filled with misfit toys, elves that want to be dentist when they grow up, or reindeer who just feel like they don't quite fit in. So a lot of those different things. It is a sweetened by honey system, which is the I think non-official way of referring to the fact that it's kind of based on honey heist. Meaning you have 2 stats in this game. They are naughty and nice. There's a couple ways you want to mix that, but you never want to hit 6 in one of your stats. And you are the last best chance to save Christmas. Let's find out who our Santacidesquad is tonight. Just the players themselves. We'll meet the squad in a moment. Let's drop down first to person running the stream for us tonight. That's Keegan. Keegan, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you online. Tell us about that taco also.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about this taco. I haven't actually got to eat it yet, but hi, I'm Keegan EXE. You can find me online on this Twitch channel or at KeeganEXE.com. Yeah, I'm eating a taco in theory. It's a mushroom taco from Little Minor Taco in DC.
Nice. They saute those raw? Are they braised? How do they cook those tacos?
They look really good. I think they fried them.
Nice. Oh, excellent. Yeah. Also, Aaron says shout out to the next person we're gonna use. That's Mads, because they think that red hoodie thing looks so comfy. I don't know if it is or is not, but Mads, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and about the comfort level of that hoodie?
Let's see, Mads, she, they. It is very comfortable. It's like the closest thing I have to something Christmassy or like warm and cozy for the winter. And yeah, it's like I love TTRPGs. I do some actual plays on Jason Cordova's channel as well as on my own on YouTube. And yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks.
When we are a Cordova Stan channel officially, so I'm always very glad to play with anybody who plays Jason. But Mads, I've always enjoyed every game we played together. I'm very excited to sit down with you again and have you with us. Next up, happy anniversary to Sarah. We played Santacidesquad a year ago, probably not today, but maybe today.
No.
In our minds and in our hearts.
There's literally no way to know. It's impossible. It can't be ascertained. Time is illusion. Don't look it up.
Sarah, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
Yeah, hi, hello. I am Osiris Franco. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all the places at Osiris Franco. I do a variety of TTRPG content here on Plus One as a part of the cult, and across various other amazing communities, Critical Misses, Neon Knights Roleplay, and Nat 20, all the best places. So that's me.
Awesome. Very excited to play with you tonight. And then last but not least, we've got Mark. Mike, why don't you tell people all the things?
Hey, Mark Major, he and them. I like playing games. I like making games. You can find me, my last name, pretty much everywhere. It's Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all the places.
Awesome. Well, we are, again, like I said, going to be playing Santacidesquad, but anytime we play with the group, whether we've played together regularly or not, because we're always playing new games here on Plus One, we always start with a conversation around safety tools. There are no specific like caution concepts for Santacidesquad outside of some of the different thematic pieces that go into heist films and things like that. But if anybody has any lines or veils that they want to name, now is a great time to do that. Lines are things that may happen in the world of our game, but don't happen in the course of our play of it. They're off limits. Veils are things that may happen within a certain context, or if we approach them, we kind of handle them in a specific way, whether that's fading to black, moving forward, or something else. And then we use the X card, which is just a way to say or type in X into a chat. Pause the game, identify what the issue is. No explanation about why you don't like it is necessary, though. And then we'll move forward in a different direction, maybe adding another line or veil. But does anybody have any lines or veils that they want to add?
I would say line for me in this particular setting is harm to children, and probably harm to animals as well.
Cool. Is anybody
Oh,
playing as a reindeer or a cryptid? Because that's important.
I'm playing as a cryptid.
Okay, cool.
That's okay. We'll be okay. I want all the reindeer to make it, buddy.
All the reindeer to make it. Excellent. And then we also use an open door policy, which means you may see us eat, drink, get up, take a pause, any of those kind of things as we need to, because we're real human people who have real human needs, and we're going to engage them as necessary. So if you're a real human person out there watching right now, and not a Christmas automaton brought to life by the spirit of the season, you should do all those things also. If you are a Christmas automaton brought to life by the spirit of the season, I mean, take care of yourself also too. Do what you need to do. We have any automatons in the party? No? All right, cool. With that said, I'm going to kick things over to me to take us into
One second before you kick it off. It is exactly 1 day from a year when you and Sarah met.
Get the
It was
flip
the
out of here.
22nd last year.
Nice. Nice.
Oh my
Tomorrow.
gosh.
Wait, yesterday or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh man.
I'm still hyped.
Wake up tomorrow. I'm very hyped.
Oh.
Sweet. I love it. Yeah, so we're gonna dive into the game. Oh man, I'm so used to just being able to pass things off to somebody else, but I guess I have to do this, right?
Yes,
that's how it works.
sucker. Welcome to a cult game.
Welcome to a cult game. Awesome. Well, just FYI, of all the denizens of the North Pole, your characters were the last crew that anybody thought would be helpful. But this December 23rd, we know two things are true. One, Christmas is in trouble. And two, sometimes making the nice list means being a little bit naughty. Title card, Santacidesquad, flashes across the screen. We see what at first seems to be a picturesque castle outside of the somewhere in some sort of Alps, whether they're Swiss, French, we're not entirely sure, but something seems a little bit wrong. Something seems a little bit off. Let's paint the scene real quick. Each one of you tell me a scene that we see somewhere in these otherwise picturesque Alps that let us know that something is wrong with the snow.
There's smoke coming out of like a black recess in the snow.
Ooh, there's a deep crevasse, and there's black smoke kind of pouring out of it, and the side of these Alps. What else? What's another thing that we see that lets us know something is wrong with the snow?
When we see some animals, deer, rabbit, whatever, bounding across the snow, and after a while, it's clear that they are not leaving any footprints.
Oh,
paw prints, hoof prints.
I'm gonna tack on to that, and it's like the camera like kind of pans down to like see that and like tilts across the snow. It puts off this iridescent like pearlescent look of like clearly like rainbows. Like it's not like the normal snow appearance. It's like almost holographic in nature.
Kind of like and I'm making this up right now, an Inversa Borealis.
Yeah, but Tony, you get it, bud. I like you.
I think in the snow we see sort of a crack manifesting that is racing our direction.
Oh, excellent. And as it races your direction, we get a kind of snapshot of each of your characters kind of freeze framed for a second, kind of taking an action. So tell me what action we see them taking as this crack races towards them, and then we're all going to flash back to where we were at a couple days before this. But go ahead and tell me what each of your characters' reaction is to this, and then we'll do a flashback also too. Let's go in reverse order. So, Mark, what's your character's first response as this crack is racing towards them?
I think my character's first response is to
throw. Describe your character to let us know.
Oh yeah. Polar cryptid, Yeti with extreme haircut. He's got big blue tufts with frosty tips and big suspenders, combat boots. And as soon as he sees the crack coming towards him, he throws himself on the ground, spread-eagled, to try to hold it together.
I love it. What name do we see flash across the bottom of the screen in heavy type?
Suzo, the polar cryptid.
Awesome. So we're going to flash back a couple of days to the panoptical holding cell deep in the naughty zone beneath the North Pole, where employees who have not lived up to the expectations of the North Pole, or not necessarily always employees, just sometimes people who have disrupted things, have found themselves on the down and outs, down in the panopticon, at least for a spell. This is where do we see? What was your character's name one more time?
Suzo.
Suzo. Where do we see Suzo in the panopticon, and how do we get a sense of why they're in here?
Suzo is kind of on one of the upper levels of the panopticon, so easily seen by everyone up there, and just sort of like straining against the bars. You can tell that he's familiar with the other guards. He was working polar security, and I think he let some undesirable folks in and is getting a taste of the medicine that he should have given them. And the other guards are teasing him and taunting him.
Awesome.
Chiding him for dereliction of duty.
Cool. Do we see like some sort of contraband being passed from one of the guards to you? Is that how we get a sense that you've got some friends on the inside?
Yeah.
What kind of contraband are they passing, Suzo?
Snowballs.
Awesome. And then last important question. When you say frosted tips, do you mean frosted tips as far as blonde, or frosted tips as in there is blonde on the edge? Or there's ice on the end?
There's frost on the ends, yeah.
Okay. I'm just making it's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just making...
Where the bleach would be, there is frost.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Flashback forward. We've got Sarah next. Sarah, tell us what we see your character doing to dodge this crack, and then what name we see flash underneath.
I think you see well, you would see a cotton-headed ninny muggins of a Christmas elf with a badge on that says the Holiday Cheer Department flapping in the wind. But what you would see is a small Christmas elf holding onto the back, I'm just going to say, of Keegan's character, just gripping their clothes, head turned back, just screaming as loud as they can. They have a little pencil tucked behind their ears. They have a little tool holster with a screwdriver tucked down in it, and shoes that curl up, and the name like flashes as it looks like very clear that this little elf is yelling, "Oh shit." It says Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald the elf.
Fitzgerald the Christmas elf.
Love it. And then as we flash back, where do we see Fitzgerald and what do we see them doing that gives us a sense of why they might be in the Panopticon prison this holiday season?
I think it was a minor infraction that just kept like getting out of control. Fitz was in the Holiday Cheer Department. He's supposed to help, get everybody hyped, but Fitz could never remember what holiday it was. So a lot of the times he was putting out pumpkins or hiding Easter eggs. And actually Mrs. Claus tripped on the Easter eggs and there was an emergency. You know, it's really hard getting the right medical attention this far north. So Fitz was just kind of determined to until he can prove that he understands what Christmas is as a concept, has been removed to remedial classes. And I feel like the scene of him would be in his little cell, just rubbing his little forehead, looking at the test and being like, I don't know. It's so hard. Is it fireworks? Or is it clovers? It's got to be one of those. I know that it is. It can't be. Oh, man. And there's no tests to cheat on. What goes on the door at Christmas time? It's got to be fireworks. That's what I'm putting.
Sarah, feel free to make up some sort of non-Christmas based holiday contraband to stick in your character's pockets.
Amazing.
At some point in the future. So, and feel free to rebrand anything you already have in your pockets to non-Christmas
Amazing
contraband.
Okay.
Excellent. So we flash back forward. Let's go to the person who we see Fitzgerald clinging to the back of. Keegan, who do we see, and how do we see them responding to this crack?
Yeah, so what we see is a towering polar cryptid. Across the bottom of the screen flashes Yukon Samoyed, the child of course, Yukon Cornelius and Bumble, the abominable snowman. Is a hulking abominable snow person, just in a little holiday vest, now with an elf holding on to the back of it.
Raining.
And you're screaming, and we see Yukon like reach into, it's claymation, so it's not quite a pocket. He sort of just reaches into his own leg, and he pulls out just like a mistletoe cigarette, and he's like, well, if this is the end, I'm getting one last one.
Love it. Love it. It's coming to you. It's so good. As we flash back to the Panopticon, where do we see Yukon? And can it please be in the visitation room with one of his parents?
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely in the visitation room with both parents.
How's the conversation going?
Surprisingly well, legitimately. It's a lot of, we're disappointed in you, but we still love you, from Yukon Sam, of course, and a lot of from Bumble.
Awesome. What landed you here in the Panopticon?
Oh God. What landed me here? I think I was selling illegal strains of mistletoe. And we're not gonna probe that too hard.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. So 100% love it. Great. We flash back to the crack. We see our last character there, Mads. Who do we see, and how do we see them responding to this approaching giant crack in the ground?
So you see this pale beigey, like quokka type of creature, in a hood, like in a hoodie, and like has like a messenger bags like strapped to them, and they're just kind of like old and well, I mean, like not old, but I mean, like, just kind of like tired looking and just kind of grumpy. And then when they see the crack appear in the coming towards them, she basically whips out this, looks like a like Leatherman type tool, and just goes, I'm too old for this shit. And she flashed on the bottom, and it says like Missy Totes Snow Cookie Polar Quokka. She's wearing she's got a pencil behind her ear, like, for taking notes. She's got gloves on. She's wearing her combat boots, ready to go or ready to run, and she's also got like a faded badge. It's got like SOTS, like it looks like SOTS on it, but you can't quite tell what it means until we get to the flashback.
Sweet, love it. And as we flash back, what do we see?
So you see, this is a little bit before the Panopticon, and she's wearing the outfit. She's wearing the hoodie, but it's a lot newer looking, and she's got like a fresh messenger bag, and she's got a badge underneath one of the lapels of the hoodie, which says "Fully Stealth on the Shelf Department." And she's basically practicing sneaking around, and she's gathering different items, especially if it's food. And then she's chewing on a cookie while she's doing it, and then she like lets some crumbs fall, and then she hears an immediate zzz, "Do it over, you're not doing it right, you dropped something." And then she's like, then you see her visage like in jail behind bars, and she's just listlessly eating a cookie, like, yeah, too old for this shit.
Was this your last Christmas, or are you just 2 days from retirement?
I was 2 days from retirement, and it's like, damn it.
Awesome. Excellent. So we see this crack crew as this crack starts racing across the ground to them. This smoke kind of starts erupting out, and you can see this interacting with this rainbow sheen from the Inversa Borealis, and they are merging together to what you easily recognize is an anti-Christmas spirit field that is causing the Christmas spirit to drop in this area. Y'all had ridden in on a hyperspatial sleigh, and you were actually supposed to make it about another 2 miles to a large castle that we can see silhouetted on the other side of the smoke. But as you got to this section, your hyperspatial sleigh just started dropped out of the Christmas spirit field and crashed under the ground, tumbling y'all out as this crack started racing to you. The sleigh itself is laying off to one side as the anti-Christmas field is starting to grow. You see the castle in the distance, and there's a small alpine town about halfway up between you and it. What do you want to do?
Come on, youngies, we gotta go. We gotta go. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Where are we going?
Town. Out. Who cares? There's a crack. You want to fall in? Let's go. Come on, let's go. Go, go, go.
I can totally hold this one together. I got this one. It's not going anywhere.
Get up. Let's move it. And she takes a slight kick to spread out Sue's skull. I think this is not the first time that she's done so either. I mean, I think this is dude, this is like the 50th time you've done this. Stop it.
I got this one.
Fine. Stand up and fists of iridescent snow just kind of stuff in my pockets.
So as that happens, we actually flash back to the exact same scene as y'all are being filed out of your respective cells and into a holding room. You see the big man himself, Santa Claus, not a normal Santa fare. He's got the stocking cap on, but he's got a phenomenally well cut, very well tailored suit and a cigar kind of in one hand that he's just taking really deep pulls on as smoke fills the air in his office. He's obviously, I mean, it's got this deep, rich peppermint tobacco aroma to it. As you can tell, he's stress smoking though. Something has gone horribly wrong, and he's like, "Look, all right, you four, we've sent others. I've tried my hardest, but here's the deal. Y'all are all on your last legs, and we need someone to save Christmas. And I don't think you're the call, but Miss Claus says that she thinks y'all have something special about you, and I've learned to trust her instincts after all these years. So we're going to need you to save Christmas. And here's the deal. We have everything we need. Everything's set, but here's the problem. Something has gone wrong with the snow. And you actually feel the entire room starting to shift around you as you realize the entire room is an elevator, and you can see the window behind him like close off of the ground level that has the Christmas village behind him, and steel tubing kind of come up behind you, and it starts dropping layer after layer after layer. All of a sudden, the cavernous earth kind of opens up, and you can see the North Pole like spinning down into the depths of the planet. You stop off on a level that seems to be like more secure than anything y'all have ever had access to. He ushers you out the back of the room and walks you over to an area where we see that same hyperspatial sleigh ready off to the background, powered up with Christmas spirit, ready to launch. He's like, and you see on a view screen behind him, kind of in a holographic shimmer, comes up, and he's like, and you see a beautiful snowflake. At first, it doesn't seem to be anything particularly stand out until you realize it's kind of constantly shifting in a myriad of ways, and you see it shift from kind of one beautiful snowflake shape into the other slowly over time. He's like, this is the primordial flake, or I should say, this was the primordial flake. It's usually located right on top of the North Pole, but a few days ago, it seems that someone stole it. And since then, the flakes that are coming out just aren't coming out right. Snow isn't packing right. Weird things are coming out of it. Smoke's pouring out of the ground where it kind of hits these different things. There's this weird rainbow-shaped aura that started popping up in different places. But the worst thing is it's all of the cold of snow, but none of the joy. You can't pack it to make a snowball. You can't build it into a snowman. You can't do anything fun with it. I mean, you can kind of skate on it, but it's rough and it's rocky and it's hard to handle. It's everything that is not enjoyable about snow, but nothing that is. The worst thing, and the shape shifts, is the number of points on the stars are completely wrong. Not a six-pointed star in the mix. We've got 5-pointed stars, 4-pointed stars, 3-pointed stars, and we all know those have reduced clumping power and none of the joy. The joy comes from the 6 point of that star. We need to find out what happened to it. And all of a sudden, a picture of a woman in a lab coat pops up. We think it was Dr. Jacqueline Frost. She was up here doing some Christmas time R&D. And after she left, we found this footage, and it flashes over to some footage of her like approaching the primordial flake at the top of the North Pole before everything kind of phases out, and it goes black. You're like, we don't know that she took it, but we know she was near it before the footage dropped. We don't know what caused the problem. We've got polar security on it right now, but we need you to go find her and retrieve the flake. We've got the hyperspatial sleigh powered up. We need to get it back in time to recharge for me to go out on the Christmas run. But the reality is, if there's no snow, I can't make the landings I need to build up the speed I need to take back off, to hit every house we need to in one night. So if y'all don't save Christmas ain't happening. And here's the deal. You make this happen, you're off the naughty list. You're on the nice list.
So we're not even going to get the Rudolph treatment.
None of the Rudolph treatment. Straight through. I mean, you know what the Rudolph treatment is. Go ahead and say it so everybody here knows.
Yeah, I mean, you hired a misfit back then and then made him famous, and for us, we're just getting out of jail.
Yeah, none of the Rudolph treatment. Yeah, no, like we don't have the budget for that this year. Rudolph wasn't on the naughty list. He was just kind of on the mid list, right? Like he was hovering in between. Y'all have proven. You know what? You got a chance to repoint your stars.
So you're saying I won't have to take the test again?
No test.
Okay, I'm in.
You fold too easily.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen that test? It's like 5 questions long. That's so many.
Oh, we needed to get you a study buddy, honey. Oh.
No, don't bring in any bunnies. I keep writing them on the test, and they keep telling me that it's wrong. No more bunnies.
Unless somebody has something they want to do, we smash cut back to your fight outside. Your little throwdown outside of the sleigh as it's flipped over. Y'all are headed to the village.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
let's book it.
Yep.
As we fade in on this village, which go ahead and tell me one part of the meet cute that we see through the window of one of the buildings in this small Hallmark movie-esque picturesque Christmas village below this giant castle looming over it. Tell me a little bit about one of the two people, Keegan, that we see in this meet cute and what type of business it is.
Yeah, of course. So we're thinking Hallmark movies. This needs to not be very Christmassy, because that's the trick. Yeah, I think this is just like an accounting firm we're seeing. We're seeing a one of the two people we're seeing is like a nerdy accountant, like large glasses, sort of like shuffling through their papers, muttering about how much they hate Christmas.
All right. We see this nerdy accountant who hates Christmas. Mark, who do we see them bump into?
They see them bump into his best friend from high school, who's back in town to meet up with family, and they both kind of bro hug for a minute, but then sort of let it linger a little bit too long, and there's a little bit of sparkle in their eyes as they take a step back and
awesome.
say Merry Christmas.
Sarah, why is it important that this high school friend has stumbled into this accounting firm? Like, how do they need an accountant services, or Christmas will be ruined?
They need the accounting services because they have been accused of committing tax fraud. And they legitimately need someone who is not wanting to do Christmas things on Christmas to do these emergency accounting things for them, so they can not be arrested in front of their family.
Excellent. Mads, what plans do we see them making later to go over these accounting forms on Christmas? What's the next suggested stage of this meet cute?
I think that it's instead of going to they're going to do coffee, because it's always got to be coffee, and it's going to be seasonal coffee, because it's like, peppermint's back in season. Although I hear in Canada it's in season every year, like all year. So that's good. That's wonderful. But at this particular one, it's only in season right now.
And this isn't a Tim Hortons. Like
right.
Tim Hortons, if you want to sponsor next year's stream, please reach out. We're happy to take some Timbits in exchange for some product placement. Excellent. So we see this kind of picture scene as we zoom back out of this small town called Christmas Counts, and the rest of the building outside of this kind of drab accounting firm is incredibly done up to the nines for Christmas, except for we see young children in the street trying to have snowball fights, but instead the snow just kind of scatters in the air, unable to pack. We see a parent and their child out in the front yard trying to build a snowman, but it's just a mound with a carrot and a couple of pieces of coal sticking out of it. Like everything is picturesque, except for some reason the snow just won't behave the way that it should. What do you want to do in town?
We gotta find that lady, right?
Yeah, see if anyone's seen her go through here, if she maybe stopped here.
Awesome. Is there a place in town that you feel like you want to go to inspect? You just name a fun place that you would find or any place that you would find in any Christmas Hallmark movie.
I want to go to wherever they're doing pictures with Santa here, because it's happening in this town.
Oh, you do? Yeah, 100%. There is a non-insubstantial line going to Central Park. Central Park in this city, very much smaller than the actual Central Park.
Which is too big.
Yeah, which is too big. this town is not as big as Central Park, but it's kind of this kind of picturesque town square. There's a gazebo that's there all the time, but it has been done up with white lights and threads going out. You can see there's this kind of long winding line that takes you by a number of different kind of Christmas scenes that is just packed hundreds of people deep. And you literally watch somebody get off of Santa's lap far in the distance and then like make their way out to the side, walk back, and just get back in line, ready to visit Santa again. But you see this line hundreds deep of people waiting to get their picture taken with Santa. Aaron King attacks the gazebo.
One of the most classic stories. Look, guys, I have a theory that if anybody in this town has seen this woman, it'll be Santa. Faux Santa? Fanta? What are we calling him?
Fanta's the drink.
Shit.
They're all Santas. It's just an aspect of the big man himself.
But why are they going around to come back in line?
Look, like it or not, Christmas is a big deal in Christmas Town.
Christmas counts.
Christmas counts.
You can see off in the distance, like it's over about 6 rows arcing back and forth in this kind of curved fashion. You can see Santa up ahead silhouetted, because part of the fun is being able to see the joy of everybody as they go, get a chance to sit in his lap, get their picture taken, and tell Santa what they want for Christmas.
Look, it's gonna take hours to get through this line. We need to disguise ourselves.
Oh, like how you do every Christmas. You put on your costume and you draw on your teeth and
yeah. So you're gonna be
wearing a wig.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not very wait, that is very Christmassy.
Exactly.
You're thinking, and then we're gonna be elves.
Yeah,
Wait.
I'm an elf. Yeah, I like the way you think.
Okay.
So we just gotta scrounge out some costumes.
Missy, can I borrow your pencil?
What happened to your pencil? You had a pencil.
I still have it. I don't reindeer have 2. I was just gonna hold them.
Not pencils. Maybe. Check your shirt. Check your shirt. I think there's no. Okay. All right. We will need to find horns. It'll be fine. It's okay. We're gonna be doing this. We got this.
Look, no one in this small town's seen a reindeer before. I think we could probably get some sticks.
That's true.
Let's grab some branches off a tree.
Aren't pencils just kind of weird sticks?
While y'all are having this conversation and looking at the branches on trees, you see a couple of figures making their way quickly to you. You've got the attention of 2 Central Park Rangers, and they have you can see their heavy boots clomping across the snow. However, not leaving a mark in it, and they are quickly headed your way. What do you want to do?
I want to do something nuts and do Spirited.
Okay.
Basically, like grab them together, or whomever's nearest. I'm going to put an arm around, I guess, Suzo's leg, and then an arm around. I'm sorry, Sarah. I can't remember.
You're okay. You're okay. It's Fitzgerald. You're good.
Fitzgerald's shoulders, and then basically starts going. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in
a winter wonderland.
Cool. You could move a point over to nice if you want to. Is there an effect you're going for though?
Yeah, to be distracting so they don't look like they're going to take us away.
Awesome. So you are trying to make it look like you are basically entertainment.
Yeah.
In this situation, given the options, that sounds pretty nice, and it is a spirited move. Let's you certainly can move that point over, and then you're going to try to roll a d6 and roll a 4 or under, because you've moved that point over, to
Yeah.
see if you successfully kind of distract them into thinking that you are just here for the Christmas festivities.
Sure. I got Christmas spirit. Oh yeah. 1.
Hell yeah.
1. Absolutely, that is successful. So you're actually going to move another point over for that successful roll if you want to. So you're going to have very quickly 5 and spirited. Things got real spirited real quick here. Yeah, they like get there, and then like you can see them like at first they like are almost upon you. And then as you break out, you grab these two folks, you know, and then you know, Suzo starts to break out in song towards the end, and you see them kind of like nodding their heads in tune before a teenager like runs by, and like it's not so much a snowball as it is like a handful of mush like slaps one of these Central Park Rangers in the side of the head, and they chase off after this teenager who's on this like little BMX bike.
The kids are all right.
I think since Missy Totes kind of picked Fitz up, he got maybe a little bit of a better view and realized kind of what was going on, and said, "Oh, you guys can try to dress up in your Christmas costumes, but I'm just gonna try and get a better look, and I want to try and I'm gonna try and cut in line. I'm pretty nimble. I'm a little Christmas elf. I want to go try and mosey on up and cut in line."
Excellent. I mean, you know, 100% not a problem. That doesn't sound very nice, though. That does sound pretty naughty.
Yeah, it's very naughty.
Go ahead and roll, see if you hit it, and then let's see what happens. So you're trying to just sneak up, cut all the way to the front?
Yeah, 100%. I'm using my skill. Does that give me the extra D6? Yeah,
remind us what your skill is as an elf. What can you do?
I'm quite nimble.
Okay. So yeah, you're gonna roll an extra D6 then.
Excellent. That is a 2.
Awesome. So tell us what it looks like as you kind of nimbly sneak up and get yourself second in line, right? Obviously not to the very front. What does it look like? How do you kind of matriculate into that space?
I imagine that it's very cartoonish. Like if we're looking at it from the rest of like the party's perspective, you'll just see like there's the crowd, and then every once in a while you'll just see like the top of Fitz's head as he's just like warping around through. At one point he's doing like the Thriller dance to like get through a bunch of like people, and it like winds up at the front of the line, and we'll just give like a big old like thumbs up like
Okay, well that plan works too.
As y'all watch Fitz just kind of hop up in front of the line. So Fitz, you're second in line. You can get to hear what's going on up front. What's everybody else doing while Fitz is doing this as the Rangers head off? How do we see Suzo trying to deal with this reality?
I think Suzo is gonna position himself near the end of the line and kind of fall back into his polar security role and kind of not interrogate, but interview the folks who are going back into line to see why they are going back for a second time after waiting for so long.
Okay, so you're just chatting them up?
Yeah. Just real casual like.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's we're just getting in the mode, you know, and it's a long line. So usually you just say one or two things. You get back in line, you see the show, you see the sights again. You know, it's the day before Christmas. So what else are we gonna be doing? Also, this Santa, like, he knows what's up. Like he's got a good. So you know, we just get up there. It's just a good way for us to kind of all come together. And you know, normally there'd be the snowman building contest right now, and you know the snowball throwing competition would be this afternoon, but you know they canceled all those this year. So this is really kind of like, unless you're going to get into accounting, this is really it.
the snowball, the contests, the snowman and snowball contest. Is there anyone who like enters all the time and like hasn't won yet? Maybe.
Oh, no. There's like the ringers, the guys who show up every year, the folks who are always there to kind of like give it their best bet, who, like none of them expect to win, but they're just there for a good time. There are a couple folks who take it probably a little bit too seriously, but
Yeah.
for the most part, it's just good fun. But like, they canceled it this year. Something about needing the cold, like to I don't know. I couldn't explain it. Like the folks up in the castle, like they needed to do some sort of experiment, and they said it was just going to cause a little bit of a disruption in some of the festivities this year. But we're doing hot cocoa later also too, if you stick around.
Ooh, I like hot cocoa. Yeah, I'll stick around for that.
What do we see? Totes doing?
I think Totes is still at like Suzo's leg, and she's that short anyway. And she's just like overhearing the conversations and goes, "Hot cocoa, got cookies with that? Any cookies?"
Oh yeah. I mean, like the cookie competition is still on tonight. Like, I mean,
cookie.
Yeah, like that's gonna be. I mean, like we have the hot chocolate, but there is a best cookie in town competition, and I'm looking forward to it. Like they say there might be a cold snap. They may have to cancel that also, but I figure with the hot chocolate we should be okay.
Who's making the cookies?
Oh, like I mean, anybody who wants to. Like I mean, there'll be dozens of different platters that come together. Some people do it as groups, some people do it individually, but there'll be thousands of cookies to go around.
Who's judging the cookies?
There's a couple different ways it's handled. Like there's basically a version that's the Ennies, and then a version that's the Dice Breaker Awards. No, I'm just kidding. There's a popular vote, and then there's a couple different categories that are kind of for decorative. There's a gingerbread house competition as part of that. There's a couple. They will start listing off all these different type of cookie competitions that there are going to be.
So there is an art category this year.
Yeah, there is an art category this year. We did after the first year. Apparently, there was enough interest that we would have put some more money into it and include an art category this year.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's all set up. It's all set up in that tent over there, and then like it zooms, down Main Street to a tent, and then zooms back out.
Yeah, I think Totes is going over to the tent. Wants to check out to see if there's any judges getting ready to, check out wares and stuff. So
you kind of sneak off that way. Before we cut over to that, is there anything that Yukon is doing, Keegan?
Yeah, I think Yukon's trying to catch back up with Fitzgerald. We're gonna try to pose as Fitzgerald's parent, just off sizes. Like, oh, Fitz, there you went. I thought I lost you.
Oh, yeah, I waved. Didn't you see me waving? It was really big. It was like this.
Yeah, I'm just losing you on height. That's all.
Oh.
Again, cutting in line, not a nice thing to do. Go ahead and make a naughty roll for me.
Yeah, of course. That's a 2.
Awesome. So go ahead and move a point over to naughty from nice. Yeah. So you're like, excuse me, but everybody buys it. Nobody saw Fitzgerald there, so they just assumed like, yeah, like this is a parent with their kid, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, you hear next, and now Fitzgerald is the next in line. As we flash over to that cookie tent, also too, we see Missy. There is a stanchion rope. There's a velvet rope outside of this and it is very clear that this place is not open for business yet. And so, what do you do?
is there? No. I mean, and I don't know if this is a if I can use my old role or whatever, like my old department as a thing, but I mean, she's gonna take advantage of stealth on the shelf,
Yeah. Do This is me trying to remember if I gave departments abilities or just general narrative importance. Did I give departments abilities or just?
You just said like, creature type skill, but I'm like, come on now.
No,
She's
no.
retired from the department.
You're a stealth person. That's fine. I mean, like if you're because one of the best part about any King is like, here's the game, Tony.
I'm letting everyone else read it too.
I did in one draft. I did in one draft include special abilities for departments also, then took them out because it was too much. But yeah, I mean, like obviously you know how to sneak in and out of places, and look, your job is to check places out, like
Absolutely.
So it depends. Are you going into this space to see if anybody's being naughty or nice in this space, or are you going into this space for some other reason?
I'm going to this space for another reason, I think.
All right, well, make me a naughty roll. We roll 2d6 instead.
Okay, 2d6. Oh boy. Okay, so 2d6. And then I say what now?
Whichever the lowest roll is.
That is a 1.
Awesome. So you're going to move 1 point from nice over to naughty, also 2. So as you almost, like we don't even see the curtains like billow. We just see totes on the inside of this room, and you from your low elf perspective just see giant tables covered and overflowing with every type of Christmas cookie. Imagine. Let's go ahead and go around the room. Everybody say one type of amazing Christmas pastry, cookie, or other form of delicious sugary eatery that we see overflowing on these tables. Since Totes is in there, Totes, why don't you go ahead and start? Tell us one of the one type of cookie we see on the table.
I think as Totes is entering the tent and seeing all these cookies, you hear the la 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 la, while like she's looking at all the cookies, and the first cookie that she sees is kind of like in soft focus with Vaseline on the camera, and it's like kind of like what I would call the kitchen sink kind of cookie, because it's got chocolate chunks, it's got coconut, it's got peanut butter, it's got like pretzel bits in it, it's got all this stuff, and it's just bursting with just like chewy goodness and smells so good.
Excellent. All right, Sarah, what's another type of cookie we see in here?
This might just be a me thing. When I was a kid, we'd always make Santa homemade Oreos. So it's like soft chocolate cookies with like homemade like filling and everything. So they're not like hard like your traditional Oreos. They're really, really soft. And they're phenomenal. Very, very good.
Canonically, Santa prefers Hydrox, not Oreos, but
Wow.
Mark, what kind of cookie do we see?
I think it's a really kind of like thick, fluffy / chewy gingerbread round cookie, and you can like it zooms in and you can see the big chunks of crystallized sugar on top. It's like, and you can like feel the heat from the ginger almost coming off of it.
Awesome. Keegan?
I was truly thinking gingerbread. I'll go with my favorite thing my mom makes every year, which is their little coconut balls dipped in chocolate.
Ooh.
I'm sure they have a name for them, but I never learned what they are.
The coconut balls dipped in chocolate that your mom makes. That's all they need to be called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think you actually, as you start to make your way around the room, like you can see your breath kind of catching in the air. It's very cold in here. And you like something strikes you as familiar about the way these giant piles of cookies are arrayed until you come upon a table that is a gingerbread version of the entire town, with this giant mountain of those kind of like white pecan pecan cookies, right? Like that powdered sugar all over the top of them, and then pecans. They're kind of like a pecan sandy, but with powdered sugar all over it. I don't know what they're actually called either. There's a giant mountain of those that leads up to a gingerbread version of the castle that sits above the city also too. So somebody's put in the energy to make a scale version of this entire city in the cookie hut. But it is cold in here.
She's looking around as soon as the cold hits her and the soft focus goes away, because then she realizes what might be happening, and she just goes, "Hello? You here?"
You don't get any kind of response except for all of a sudden a blue glow in the miniature castle starts to like erupt and emit like and start to bathe the room in this cold light.
Yeah. Hood goes closer and just like kind of snuggles into the gloves and the hoodie until, well, whatever happens happens.
You see across the room that there is a giant like tanker like set of tankers of hot chocolate over across the room ready for folks who to come in later after the Santa Claus extravaganza. But other than that, the blue light just kind of flows out over the room. Nothing immediately happens.
So there's hot cocoa for the folks, huh?
Yep.
Wonder what would happen if there would be something bad happening to the cocoa.
As you look quixotically at the cocoa containers, we'll cut back over. It's Fitzgerald and Yukon here next.
Yeah, Fitzgerald will just kind of do that, like the little kid who doesn't know where they are kind of walk, where they're just looking around at everything, but that's just Fitzgerald.
Okay, we gotta go to Santa. Let's go.
Right. And so you'll just start walking towards a random man when you say go to Santa. You'll have to like grab the back of his like sweater and like pull in as you turn and then like point him at
Just,
the
like,
Santa.
Scruff Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
and carry him to
that's
Santa.
there. The second we get up in front of this, Fitz is just gonna look at this person sitting in the chair. Go, trick or treat.
Oh, this is the wrong holiday again.
I think you mean Merry Christmas.
Kiss me, I'm Irish. I don't know.
You're dressed very well for the holiday.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, Fanta. We don't have time for this right now.
Oh, right.
Still scruffing Fitzgerald.
Oh, you can go ahead and place the child down. It's fine, or they can stand here if they're more comfortable with that. No child should be.
Are you
forced
comfortable
to
with this,
physically engage
Fitzgerald?
with an adult?
Fitz just kind of shrugs and looks back at the Santa.
Yeah, I
and
dropped
goes,
Fitz onto Santa.
Oh,
So
okay.
Santa, you look like you know the people of this town, right?
Well, Santa knows the hearts of all the boys and girls and children of the
Santa,
world.
look me in the eyes. I don't have time for this. I'm trying to save Christmas.
It's a noble intent. Are you kind of intimidating Santa right now?
Fully intimidating Santa right now.
Go ahead and make me a naughty roll to intimidate Santa.
It's a 1.
Amazing.
Ooh,
Go ahead and move another point over to naughty. Does that put you at 5 naughty?
that puts me at 5 naughty.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, look. There's a lot of people here. There's a whole line. Like, if you need to talk about this, we can talk about it, but this is not the time.
Okay, look.
We just need to know about one person.
How about this? For Christmas, I just want one thing.
Just a second, everyone.
Okay, so we're looking for one. We're looking for Jacqueline Frost. Do you know where she is?
Look, Dr. Frost, like, I mean, look, here's the thing. Like, everybody in this town is on Frost's payroll. Like, if Frost goes down, the town goes down. Like, she owns the big accounting firm that pumps all the money in this town and makes sure that
Okay, when you're saying I'm gonna grab my little screwdriver out and I'm just gonna hold it. Like I've got my little screwdriver in the
holding
holster.
Santa hostage?
Just gonna like pull it out and like behind me, like to the side, like hold it up to his kidney.
Smile for the picture, Santa.
Oh, let's go ahead and get that picture done.
And you're gonna tell us where we can find what we're looking for. And I'm just gonna look at Yukon like I'm doing it right.
You look so good, sweetheart.
Look, I mean, I don't know. She's up in the castle. She's supposed to be here for the cookie competition later. Everyone's supposed to be there for the cookie competition later. I don't know what's happening. She's up there now, but I mean, she'll be down here in about 40 minutes.
Okay. Happy New Year! And I'm gonna hold my little hands up with the screwdriver clearly now showing if you can't get some pictures.
Okay, sweetie, we gotta go. Santa has more kids to talk to.
All right. And then I'm gonna just turn and look at the Fanta and like put my little hands on the sides of his cheeks and go, just remember what you're grateful for, and tap his little face and then hop off. Make my way to the cookie tent.
Oh, Santa needs a short break. We'll be right back. Which is a good check-in point for everybody else. Does anybody need a 5-minute break? Are we all good?
I would love a 5-minute break if I can have one.
Let's take our own 5-minute break while Santa changes out of his now wet pair of red pants into a nice dry pair of red pants. But we are going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to be back at about 9 or 12 after the hour, whatever time zone you're in, just for that.
Maybe 45 after the hour. We could be in Australia.
We could be in that one part of Australia that is 30 minutes off from everybody else. I don't want to judge. Was Newfoundland part of that also? Welcome to all of our Newfoundlanders. We embrace your weird time zones also, because time is a construct. And so we'll be back in 5 minutes either way to keep on playing some Santacidesquad.
Hey, look, we're back.
Hey, we're back. As Santa heads off to drink a Fanta, catch a smoke break, and change into a fresh pair of pants, we move back, and we just Suzo, you've had a lot of time to take this, and people in the back are starting to grumble as Santa kind of moves off the stage and get kind of a little bit upset. You can tell there's a lot of kind of people there's a lot of tension in the crowd. Before, when all the scenes were happening and the line was kind of moving fairly, everything was good, this break has kind of snapped people out of kind of their mode of behaving, and they now seem to be getting antsy and are kind of on the edge of what looks like it could turn into some aggressive behavior.
Yeah, I think I just sort of snap into crowd management mode and just start waving people towards the cookie tents. Like, no problem, everybody. The cookie contest is just about to start right now. If just slowly make your way to the cookie tent, and we can file inside one at a time. Everyone's gonna be taken care of. No one get angry, okay?
Sounds pretty passive, gentle, pastoral. Good. Make a nice roll for me. Let's see how that goes.
Ooh, that's a 5.
Awesome. You could have rolled 2d6 because it's very much his polar security bandwidth. So like if you want to roll
another one in there, that's a 2. There we go.
Yeah. So go ahead and move 1 from naughty to nice. Also 2, and then like at first it looks like you hear a kid start to sniffle a little bit, and then you say the cookies are starting, things are, and you see everybody cookies, and in a fairly orderly fashion they all start to kind of move out and make their way over towards the tent,
not even thinking about just lift up the velvet rope, here we go, time for cookies, everybody.
Cool. Well, while all that is happening, and before we hear that inside the tent, we'll flash back over to see how things are going for Missy Totes inside. You were looking over at that hot chocolate.
Looking over the hot chocolate, thinking about it. Yeah. She's wondering what it would be like if the hot chocolate kind of toppled over. And
is she doing anything about that, or just mentally curious about what it would be like if the hot chocolate turned over?
I mean, as she's going over to the hot chocolate, she's kind of taking a cookie from one of the things. Just in passing, it's fine. It's all
No,
good.
it's fine. You pick up that cookie, you try to bite into it. It is rock hard because it is frozen.
I'm just gonna have to get some of that hot chocolate supposedly, and then try to heat it up by pouring it on top of the cookie.
Awesome. So you pour out that hot chocolate, and it comes out. It is piping hot. You see steam kind of erupt into the air around you. You feel it kind of hit your face as it pushes back against that cold, and you start dipping that cookie into it. As all of a sudden you hear what did Suzo say before about as they lift up the rope?
Just file inside, single file. Just no shoving. Just there's plenty for everyone.
As you hear that happening outside, you have your mug of hot chocolate in your hand, and you've got the cookie that you're starting to dip into it. Fitzgerald and Yukon, are y'all tagging along behind? What are y'all up to?
Yeah, I think we're probably making it into this line as it starts to as Suzo starts to sort of usher everyone in. Because Santa told us this is where we would be able to find Miss Jacqueline Frost.
Yeah, so you like, it's really funny. Like, you watch everybody kind of like fold out, like go back, and this is essentially the reverse order. So you do find yourself at the back of the line now, where you were once in the very, very front. You do, like, the person in front of you is kind of grumbling a bit still, even though they've made their way over. They're like, I was about to see Santa, but now like I'm standing at the back of the line waiting for cookies, and I stood in the line the whole time, and they are evidently upset about being at the back of the line.
I think Fitz is going to, standing where we are, look up at Yukon, look at this person who's clearly like upset, and is just gonna go tug on the back of this person's shirt that's right in front of us, to get their attention.
Yeah.
And, hey, pardon me, this place is, what's going on here? Do you work for Miss Jacqueline Frost?
I mean, not directly. I mean, like, I work for,
you like SVP, EVP?
What?
EMP.
What position? What position in the company are you? Would you hold? Would you say?
Oh,
what's your job title?
I work at the coffee shop on the corner. I mean, we are a subsidiary.
Oh.
We are a subsidiary of Count Castle Ltd, which is a subsidiary of Flake Inc., which is a subsidiary
so your coffee
of Frost
operations,
Ltd.
so CO.
Sure, yeah.
No, would you? Well, maybe even like chief coffee officer, CCO. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You have a magnificent beard. Has anyone ever told you that?
I mean,
where do you buy your beard balm?
I get it at +1 exp.com. Helps me low-key LARP my way through my day, and I love it. But yeah,
Well, listen, I'm just trying to get an understanding of why it's such a clearly important to the entire success of the company. Felt like you find themselves in the back of the line when you waited for a really long time. I'm just wondering what the bigger picture here is, and how your role fits into the corporate culture. It kind of feels like you're getting the short end of the stick, my man.
Sarah, this is amazing. Is there something specific you're going for here?
I'm trying to get like a sense, because Fanta said that the whole town works for Frost.
Yeah.
And like this is seemingly like her whole gig. So I'm trying to talk to a clearly disgruntled employee to talk shit about their employer.
Awesome. Yeah, so the like as you kind of talk to them, imply them with compliments, and help them invent new job titles for themselves, you realize like they moved here 3 weeks ago. And what you're starting to realize even more so is it doesn't seem like this town has existed for more than 6 months. The entire town of Christmas Counts seems to have been hired in to come live here in the last few months, and has been entirely underwritten by Dr. Jacqueline Frost.
Okay,
So
it's a
they
company
so
town.
they didn't pay for your relocation around around Thanksgiving 3 weeks ago, and you came in. You came in here, and it's just what did you're just a
Oh
town.
no, no, they did pay my relocation. Like,
Oh, they paid your
yeah, no,
relocation.
like I got a
That's pretty
relocation
good.
fee. Like, we have healthcare. Like, it's a
Oh,
pretty
nice.
good, setup. I mean, like, I was working a dead end coffee shop job before this,
Yeah,
and
but now you're chief coffee officer.
I'm
Your
chief
life's
coffee
different.
officer.
Yeah, I like that for
Um,
you, man.
yeah,
Congratulations.
So yeah, I mean, like, it's been pretty good. Like, I mean, the
Yeah.
job is pretty much the exact same. But I mean, we get to live in the Alps. It's Christmas for a extended period of time. We basically were told, like, hey, like, here's a bunch of traditions of this town, but I mean, like, no one like, it was just a list of like a fake history we all had to learn.
Hmm.
I
Are
just
you
figured it
were
was like a tourist thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, were you told that there would be guests?
No, I mean, like, they didn't really tell us who we needed to learn it for. As a matter of fact, I think, like, are y'all new to town?
Well, it's interesting you should ask. Because I was brought in, they didn't pay my relocation fees. I think maybe I'm just at the wrong pay grade. You know what I mean? I'm not as important as the chief coffee officer. I'm more like the chief Valentine. I mean the Christmas things. But anyways, so I was just trying to get a lay of the land. I think there was supposed to be some initiation or
Yeah, like,
orientation.
just some last minute hires. Is that it?
Yeah, but like, they've got all this hubbub going on with all the, stuff. So, anyways, I'm just trying to figure out as I go. I'm a kind of a go-getter, a problem solver myself.
Look, I mean, I don't know what your current role is, but I could
Yeah.
be looking for an assistant to the chief coffee officer in the near
Listen, man,
future.
I can.
You said you get health?
Yeah, I mean, we got health.
Hey man, get your.
we have-
This is my. What the fuck you gone? Come in here. Take my. It's fine. It's fine.
You're ruining this for both of us.
As y'all have this long conversation about the benefits of living in this this corporate town,
Do we like
y'all
Jacqueline
slowly
Frost?
everyone has started coming like into the tent. Like, the line is moving pretty quickly, and there's a lot of space to kind of move around in here because it was designed to be this kind of large celebration. As you kind of come through, you see that gentle blue light that everybody did. Missy Totes, you've been able to dunk your cookie in the coffee. It takes a little bit for it to, like, thaw out, and you notice that the hot chocolate itself is basically completely cool by the time that it has thawed the cookie. But you do get the cookie down to a biteable consistency.
Do I notice that the rest of the cookies are like that? Like that they're all like, rock hard solid.
You as you look around, like, nobody has, like, gotten into the cookies before. They're all kind of just, like, looking around and marveling. You see some people kind of positioning it, but it looks like they're all waiting for someone to kind of kick off the festivities. And like, no one has really gotten into it yet. Like, you see a couple kids try to grab them. But yeah, if you, like, as you kind of look at one of the plates near you, like, you look and there's what you first thought was just like a sugar frosting, you can tell is just like, it is just frost on top of the cookie.
I think, hold on, I'm just gonna look at the rules. Okay. I want to do like a flashback scene, but I'm trying to think of like how I want to
What is
position
the end goal you want to achieve? We can work it back from there if you want to.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, so basically it's like, Totes is having a flashback of um a flashback of like, preparing for this mission, but then having some kind of like signal from the boss about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and I have not had that up. So if you were trying to, so you as you look down at that table, like like it's almost time. Like it's almost time. And you do like all of a sudden, like you have a small little like I think ring on. It just starts to it flashes with a kind of this odd geometric pattern that like as we kind of see it and then zoom out above, we notice that the geometric pattern is also the same shape as the streets of this miniature village. It kind of looks like a 5-pointed snowflake. Is there specific information you wanted to get within that? You can also Discord message me if you want.
Let's see. Okay. So let's see.
As we flash over to Susa, what are you up to?
Yeah, I think I leading the way into the tent, sort of guiding folks in, and probably as soon as I step in, like just realize the majesty of what I've entered people into, and I think I'm super taken by the miniature gingerbread town, and just kind of checking it out. I think Susan's first instinct is to look for a little cookie tent in the gingerbread town and see if there's a tiny model inside that.
Yeah, you do see the tent set up on kind of the edge of town, and there's tables kind of off the end of each of the points of the major streets within the village. But you find a little like a miniature cookie thing, and like as you look a little bit closer, like you can see that there's little miniature gingerbread people, and like there's one standing outside the tent that you could swear almost looks like you.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. That's me. Everybody. I'm in the town. This is so cool. Like, can I pick it up? And just like, this is me.
Yeah. As you reach out to pick it up, you realize like that the blue in the room has started all of a sudden starting to shift and change. Sorry. As it's very obvious like that something is about to happen. You stepped in right after Fitzgerald and Yukon had stepped in. Now it seems like the entire town is in this huge tent with all these tables. There's a few hundred people in here as things start to kind of shift and move around kind of as if something's about to happen. You see that there's this small like it looks like ice sphere on the edge of the castle that is where the light is kind of emitting from, and these snowflake patterns that are starting to play across it. You hear these kind of like oohs and ahs coming from the audience as everybody seems kind of enraptured by this light show. It's sparkling across the room. You Missy Totes, you pull out a pair of snow goggles and put them over your eyes. Everybody else, what do you do?
Do we do me and Fitzgerald here see this? Like, it sounds like the room's getting colder and some people are seeing like blue.
Yeah, y'all. It's almost like there's a light show that's playing across the room, like different kind of fake snowflakes emanating out of this central globe. It's like it's very, very evident that this is happening to everyone in the room now. Like it seems as if some sort of show is starting. Maybe it's a light thing. You're not quite clear, but if you've seen the Christmas decoration that I love the most, because my wife loves decorating for Christmas and I don't like doing any of that work. Neither does she, but she loves having the house decorated on the outside. They have those laser things you can stick in the ground that project them. It's almost as if one of those is playing across the entire room. And people are like, seem to be kind of stirring and excited.
Fitzgerald, we've been distracted by coffee again.
You God, I think we're missing the most important holiday of the year. It's clearly Hulkamania in there, man. We gotta go.
It's the Kia summer sales event.
You see like everybody almost seems to exhale at the same time. And you can see it's almost like their breath is being pulled into the center of this light show as things start to swirl faster and faster.
It's really quick as that's happening. I think like as Fitz is gonna look at you kind of go, I think I know who the real baddie is, but we gotta move quick.
Yeah, look, it's getting colder. We're gonna have to warm this room back up first.
Yeah, for sure.
You all of a sudden feel like your breath is almost getting pulled out of you into the middle of this space as well. So like you feel that this kind of the heat being drawn out of your body into this kind of central space. All three of you who do not have snow goggles on at this point in time feel this.
Does it feel dangerous, or does it just feel like this is awesome?
It feels like you've experienced something like this before. Like it's not an uncommon thing in hyper cold, but this actually, like, you don't remember ever being this cold. Like you are designed like physically, like your nature is to be in the cold. You get chilly every once in a while, but you just put on a scarf and it's fine. This is the coldest you've ever felt.
I think if Souza gets the sense that this is dangerous for us and the crowd around us, I think Souza's first instinct is to lean on his carnage and smash the gingerbread castle in the middle there.
Awesome. So you go to like start just smashing through the village, Godzilla style.
Yeah.
Up to, I mean, probably more King Kong style. I apologize. Up towards this mountain with the castle ice thing in it. Absolutely, that sounds pretty naughty.
Yeah, it does.
Go ahead and make a naughty roll to me to smash Godzilla style over.
Okay, here we go.
Small Christmas village.
Ooh, naughty is a 2, roll is a 3. Lowest roll is a 3. No good.
Yeah, so you go to like do it, and as you like put your like. You look down, you see little Suzo underneath your foot, and you just don't have like the artistry of this kind of catches your eye for a minute, and you get distracted, which would be the perfect moment for anybody who wanted to all of a suddenly betray the entire group to act. If anybody wanted to. I'm not saying anybody has to, but I'm saying if somebody wanted to, this could be the perfect moment for them to act.
Yes, me.
Do it. I was gonna say I'm not in the tent, or I absolutely would. Go, Mads, go.
Just trying to think of like how.
Mhm.
I feel like it needs like the big boss reveal. It's at like at this point, like I'm just like kind of like paving the way for her.
Yeah.
I feel like to keep that feeling going, to make sure that there's nothing to help pep people back up. I think Totes is going to be going by the tankards of hot chocolate and upending them at this point,
Love it. So yeah, like you see a couple people who like kind of noticeably note that it's cold, had started to make their way over to you, and you just dump the hot chocolate. And actually we see that we see this giant wave of hot chocolate
Yes.
come across the room and totally wipe through this Christmas village like a giant tsunami of heat. And then as it kind of crescendos up and is about to slam into, like, people scream immediately, and then they're like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then they start to scream again because it starts to freeze in midair. You actually, Suzo, from your perspective, like a giant spike of frozen hot chocolate extends out and like comes right to within an inch of where you are. And all of a sudden the hologram pulses again, and you hear a woman's voice pulse in over the things like, well, I see that the minions of the north have arrived, but I'm afraid you'll be a little bit too late. We've already gathered enough cold from the people here to be able to launch into the next phase of our plan. And all of a sudden, like, the people around you, all of a sudden, like, start to grow icicles on their face and their teeth, and they become slightly distorted as they turn into kind of these frozen humanoid figures, and all start to turn towards anyone who's not wearing snow goggles right now, and move towards you with malicious intent.
Look, I don't think the health insurance is going to cover this. We got to stop them.
So they're iced over. They're gonna try and get us. We still need to find the snowflake. I'm trying to think what I can do here. Fitz is just gonna look at you, kind of go, "Toss me."
Right, just like last Toyota-thon, and I'm gonna just throw Fitz in the direction Fitz pointed first.
Yeah, if you point it towards the tent, I think would be the answer. And as he flips through the air, Sunday, kids, these are still just $5. He's gonna pull out a Roman candle. That's my item from another holiday, and is gonna rip that off, firing the fireworks into the tent to light it on fire and generate enough heat to like warm people back up.
Awesome, love it. So you're just firing wildly inside this tent, like this is...
Yeah, just like thrown up in the air, just like if it's slow mo, it's like I see fields of green.
Yeah, you're spinning around in slow motion while this thing.
Yes, Mads. Yes.
And so, yeah, go ahead and make. Is this a naughty or a nice maneuver?
I feel like this is naughty. I'm doing an arson right now.
Okay, cool. Do an arson.
But I did get thrown up in the air, so can I say that my nimble counts here?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 100% down for that counting.
Awesome. Good, because I needed it. That's a 4 meeting a 4, which is now a 5.
Awesome. Everybody's getting a little bit naughty. You see it like shoot off in and around. I think we see this also, like, we flashback out, we see this reflected in the snow goggles that Missy Totes is wearing as you kind of arc through the air. And then as we like, what are you saying in slow motion that is barely understandable by the audience? Again.
It was Sunday. Kid seats are still just $5.
Yeah, as the entire like tint of the roof starts to conflagrate and starts to catch on fire, we all of a sudden see that crystal that was couched up in the castle like crack, and then like we see it explode as even more heat kind of erupts out. And the entire like tent immediately catches on fire from the sudden release of heat. And then it would be harmful for the people inside and y'all, except for that it also immediately reliquefies the hot chocolate, which causes everybody inside to be coated, keeping them from burning down. But people are just running out into the cold of the night coated in hot chocolate as the cookie tent starts to burn down.
As Fitz lands in like a superhero pose, he's gonna look up, his eyes shining bright at Yukon, go, Yukon, I think I finally feel it. I think I finally feel the holiday spirit, and the song's coming on. I'm just gonna stand up as I want to do the Spirited, and Fitz is gonna go. I was working in the lab late one night. To my surprise, I saw a fright.
He's doing the mash. He's doing the monster mash.
To move my point back to nice.
Oh, that's potentially the best use of Spirited ever.
Nice.
And then
Oh, good.
You've broken Tony.
I do, in my mind, a small child points and said they're doing the monster mash. You land your superhero pose. You get a little spirited. Madge, it looks like everything is falling apart. You know there's only one there's only one place that you can safely go, and that's to the lair of your dark mistress up in the castle high above the town. So unless you want to show down against your friends, you will make your way up there to insert yourself back in whatever form of ambush you want in the future. The building is burning down. Yukon, what are you doing at this point? Or Suze, what are you doing at this point?
Shepherding people out, like just dripping with hot chocolate. It's like single file again. Everybody, just be safe, kid. Like picking up a little kid and kind of like putting them on top of someone. Like, everyone grab a cookie here and there for a little bit of extra energy.
Cool. Then, even though it's not a song, because you're handing out the cookies also, if you just want to automatic spirited a point around, you're absolutely capable of it. I love like no one is listening to you. Yeah. Like you're like everybody's just scattering and terrified, and you're handing out cookies to kids. Well, excellent.
Still laid back.
So,
it's cool that it's just cool, everybody. It's part of the show. All right.
Yukon, Suzo, and Fitzgerald, you all find yourselves alone in the ashy unpacked snow of the outskirts of Christmas Counts. All of a sudden, your friend Missy Totes is nowhere to be found. What do you want to do?
Anyone see where she went?
You can vaguely make out the form of someone quickly moving up the hillside towards the giant castle that arches over town. As you look up, there is a larger crystal that is glowing blue light perched on the balcony of this castle.
It's right behind me, isn't it?
My matey, over yonder I see a swaggering ballyhoo. I'm just so full of this the Christmas spirit right now, and definitely not talk like a pirate day.
Arg, let's head that way.
Yeah, I think she went ahead to pave the way for us. Let's catch up.
I think in the distance, it's like you hear a strain of like, later on we'll conspire as we dream by the icicle.
Oh, Mads, that was a very good spirited pull for later on we'll conspire also too. The wordplay there is tremendously good, and so if you just want to take 1 point, that's fine. If you want to take 2 points over, you can do that also.
Okay.
I'll 100% down for that. That was a very good pull. Good night, sweet liege. Aaron King headed to bed so you can sleep well on this longest night. And so you make your way up, and I think we smash cut just up to the top of the thing. Y'all make your way up. There are a number of these kind of like icy people. Give me a scene of how we see each one of you making it through past one of these kind of like people who have been turned into these cold ice golems on your way up for Suzo, Yukon, and Fritz. What do we see what do we see you doing to make your way past these monstrosities?
Yeah, I think we see Yukon is like, all right, we're gonna have to use a trick my dad taught me, and I pull out 2 little ice picks. And I'm gonna scale the side of this building just to like the 2nd or 3rd floor window. I'm not going up too high.
Oh, I thought you were going to deal with one of the people now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's like, pull out 2 ice picks my dad got me.
No. Yukon Cornelius famously scaled the side of a mountain with that.
Yeah,
I know.
I think
It's not the question I asked. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I was saying I'm dealing with them by just avoiding them.
Excellent. So we see you scale up the side of the mountain, helping guide the way around a group of them. You get to the top, and there's a couple more. What do we see Suzo or Fitzgerald do to deal with another set of them?
Suzo's got his snowball launcher out, packed with those snowballs that the guards slipped him at the beginning there, and just covering Yukon's ascent, just making sure that none of the ice dudes catch up.
Awesome. Yeah, at one point you see one like start to like looks like actually does the thing where he looks over the edge and he looks down and he's about to call out, and all of a sudden just gets a snowball in the side of the head and plummets down the side of the mountain past Yukon. And then Fitzgerald, how do we see you dealing with one member of this patrol?
I think as they are running up, Fitz is kind of wait, maybe it's not the Christmas spirit. It's like kind of like sneaking up behind him, and he's gonna reach in a pocket and turn around and go, "Be mine, bitch!" He's gonna fling little Valentine's those little chalk hearts, just like in a spray, like blinding them before he like kicks him in the knee.
He's small, but he's feisty.
Awesome. So you have made your way up into the building. We're gonna flash deep into the sanctum. I think we see silhouetted by this blue glow. You, Missy Toads, you make your way into a room into the middle. You make your way out onto this balcony, having made your way up through the castle, past all the guards who obviously immediately recognized you, and you see your cold mistress standing silhouetted by this giant blue light as energy is starting to pulse and swirl around her. If you have a scene you want to do here, happy to do a scene of you connecting with her for a moment. If you just want us to note that you are there, we can do that also too. What would you like to do?
I just kind of like, come up to her, and it's like, with my snow goggles on, and I'm just kind of like still chewing on the one, like the cookie that I took from the tent. And it's like, so
Excellent.
Are you letting it go?
Oh yes, Missy. Excellent work. You've drawn them in. The last few ingredients we needed. The final measures are finally in place. You've done well. Here is your good reward. And she hands you just a giant sack of cookies. Like it is obvious that there's some sort of Santa tech at work here, because we see like Missy is able to like up and over and dive into this very small sack and just kind of swim through this pile of cookies. So you
Scrooge McDuck it through cookies.
Yes.
into this quantum cookie space. And
absolutely.
But take your time to enjoy your prize, but be ready because they're coming.
Not a problem.
So as y'all make your way through this castle, you have a few more kind of quick encounters with some different there is a laser tinsel grid. Keegan, how do y'all get past the laser tinsel grid?
Oh god, laser tinsel. I think we cut back to an old familiar here for Fitzgerald and Yukon, and I simply fling Fitzgerald between a bunch of lasers, and there's just a very big red off switch on the other side.
Excellent. As you kind of make your way down a hallway, there's a bunch of anti-reindeer rockets that all of a sudden lock onto you at the end of this large hallway. They start to fire at you. None of you are reindeer, so like they're not super effective, but there are a ton of explosions happening around you. Yukon, how do you help get everybody through these loud and dangerous explosions that are now going off all around you?
I think I just put myself in between the explosions and the other two, especially Fitz, because they're smaller, and just like taking the brunt of it. Just like, come on, guys, you can get around behind me. It's gonna be okay. It doesn't hurt. I'm not a reindeer. Ow! It doesn't hurt.
As long as you're a reindeer, it's not that bad.
Ow, it doesn't hurt, guys. It's okay. I'm not a reindeer. It's fine.
I think Fitzgerald is probably like your extra backpack. Like it's like literally the size difference.
Yeah, I think as this is happening, it's very the Guardians of the Galaxy with Groot kind of like dancing around while they're all like killing that big old beast. It's very much that as Fitz kind of does a little disco shimmy like away. It's the summer of love, baby. Thank you. It's just like moves past towards our ultimate goal.
And then y'all burst out onto this balcony. You see that there are the same blue lights that you saw in the tent are starting to pan across the night sky as if they were searchlights, as this giant blue crystal that at the center of it, you can see there is the primordial snowflake twisting and twirling around. And again, you feel that cold breath being drawn out of you as you start to feel like you're almost freezing in place and a little bit slower. But you see Jacqueline Frost silhouetted by this cold blue light, and a pair of Matt, you can position yourself. You can be a pair of legs just sticking out of a cookie bag, or you can be otherwise positioned however you want. But you see Madeline Frost with a pair of blue, almost look like welding goggles on her face, just laughing at the top of her lungs. What do you want to do?
If I recognize the legs sticking out of the bag, I'm just gonna
Let's confirm, Madge, is that where you want to be positioned, or do you want to be positioned elsewhere?
No, I mean, like, it's fine because I think they recognize like the look of Totes' combat boots sticking out of the
perfect
out of the moving sack of cookies. So yeah.
Mads, listen, I understand that you have your own motivations for pursuing a career in the private sector, but I just want to encourage you on this, the most powerful and moving of holidays, the summer movie event of the season, the release of the newest Fast and Furious franchise. I would just beg you, encourage you to see us as the family that we are.
I think, like, you'll see the shifting of the feet, like, or the boots, like, going into the bag, and then like Missy's head popping out of it, like with like chewing on a cookie, and as they're like raising something in their hand, it's like you hear them singing while chewing. Here we are as in golden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more.
Why is she singing an Easter song? I don't understand what's happening right now.
That's like just like she's holding something like that well would kind of take out like Jacqueline Frost. So I mean, I'm gonna use like Spirited to kind of like.
I love it. So you're boosting up your spirit. You got it over. What you sound like you've got to be near maxed on Spirited right now. What are you at?
But I'm like at I can't count. I swear to God. I mean, I guess I'm at 5 nice and then 1 naughty.
Okay.
Nice.
So you have spirited your way back up to 5. What are you holding that's going to take out Jacqueline Frost?
It's like the department tool, like that she had, like after her retirement. So it's like this snowflake shaped multi-tool and it's kind of like a batarang slash a shuriken slash, I mean, like whatever you want to call it, to interrupt.
Santarang,
Like,
yeah.
a Santarang, yeah. It's like,
A Santa ring, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Sleigh bells, and so, so what? So I mean, if you, it is again, some of it's motivation. Like if you are taking out Jacqueline Frost, if you're going to make that activity,
Mhm.
that could be a nice roll because that is going to save Christmas.
Right.
It could also just be a nasty, dastardly way to double cross betray. So I'll let you make your case for why you're making the roll you're making. And then you make your roll.
Okay. Hold on. I'm just trying to think. Okay. So, like, I could use like my savvy survival. It's like, okay, it was fun in the beginning, but then now it's like, realizing it's like, really gotta save Christmas, and so like gotta use everything at my disposal, which is like, my stealthy survival,
Sure.
taking out the enemy kind of thing. So I'm hoping nice. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, if this is, I mean, again, it's part of it. If this is about saving Christmas,
Yeah.
I 100% go ahead and make a nice roll. If you're using kind of a survivalist mentality, go ahead and roll 2d6.
Yeah. Oh gosh. 4?
If it's nice, you've got a 5 and nice right now. I
Yeah.
think. So
Mhm.
you're going to roll under is what you want to roll, right?
Okay.
So I mean, you're 4 gets you there.
Okay.
So yeah, tell me what it looks like all of a sudden as Dr. Jacqueline Frost is about to start monologuing about her dastardly plan. Tell us what it looks like as you hit her with the Santarang.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of like that Grinch moment. It's like where he discovers that his heart becomes like, 3 sizes so big or whatever, and then just kind of like bursts its iron chains. It's like, then Missy's like, retirement's not as fun. It's like if it's gotta be like, too bad. So she decides to throw her Santarang to bring back Christmas and then like
Yeah.
kind of regain that spirit for the primordial flake. And I think that the Santarang goes through and interrupts what Jacqueline Frost is doing, to allow her companions to charge forward if they want.
Yeah.
So.
I think.
Yeah, awesome.
I think Yukon sees this sort of look in Toad's eyes and is like, all right, it's go time. And while this is happening, I want to just tackle the crystal like off the edge of the castle.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that sounds nice given the mission itself.
Yeah.
So you're gonna slam into this giant ice crystal that's surrounding the primordial flake, and starting to emit all these lights, and just tackle it. I mean, it sounds like carnage. What's your department again?
Polar security.
So, I mean, you got 3d6 going here, I think.
Hell yeah. We love rolling 3d6. We love optimizing. And that's a 1. Thank God. It was a 1, a 6,
Hell
and a 6.
yeah.
But it's a 1.
Whoa.
Which is what I had to roll, to be clear.
Oof.
Yeah, you slam into the crystal, as Jacqueline screams out like, no, and all of a sudden like you and it start to plummet over the edge, falling down into space.
Yeah, I think as I'm about to tackle it, I'm like, don't worry, guys. Bumbles bounce and run for the crystal.
Bumbles do bounce. Yeah, we see you plummeting down. All of a sudden, like we see down below the crystal shatters. And all of a sudden the primordial snowflake shoots off into the air as blue light explodes everywhere. A significant wave of blue flame licks its way back up the side of the mountain as this happens. And all of a sudden you can feel the inversa borealis that's kind of shimmering across the ground off in the distance of this weird snow. starts to dissipate and fade as this kind of blue energy whips out across it, and the star and the snowflake like shoots off into the air. But you're left there with Dr. Jacqueline Frost on the ground, crumpled up, crying. Let's give everybody a parting shot or a move. I do intentionally just really want to kick it over to Sarah. Sarah, do you have any encouraging words to offer Dr. Jacqueline Frost during this darkest moment of her life?
I think here, like, Fitz will hurry over to make sure that Yukon's okay. And once that's ascertained,
Yukon's way down at the bottom of a mountain.
He jumped, but like it'll, he'll fist bump Suzo on the way over to this woman who's like crying, and give Missy just like a little head nod before like crouching down in front of Jacqueline and like looking her in the eyes. It's a good thing that I finally got the hang of this holiday cheer thing, because I feel like, with all of this holiday spirit just coursing through my veins, I can help you. Are you in a place where you're open to that? Are you open to that feedback?
She like is fighting through tears, like, I mean, what else do I have?
Can Missy Totes come over and say, it's okay, hun. Have a cookie.
Thank you. And Fitz will just take the cookie and slam it in his mouth before like over the crumble bits. Just go, listen, just understand that this is the biggest mattress sale of the season, so you're probably gonna sleep well tonight. He'll wink.
That feels like a good smash cut back to the North Pole. It's the day. It's a couple days after Christmas. Christmas went off without a hitch. Santa was able to build up the speed he needed to all the nights in a single run. Dr. Jacqueline Frost is in solitary within the Panopticon, well below the North Pole's normal operations base. Certainly not to threaten anybody again. Let's do some post-credit scenes. I think we're gonna go. Where do we see Suzo, Mark? What do we see Suzo now that they have been restored to the nice list? How do we see them living out their life post this adventure?
I think Sousa's back on Polar Security. He's got his little badge and he's got his little uniform, and he is standing outside the cell where he was before, where Dr. Frost is, and he's like, I saved some cookies from the cookie tent for you. It's gonna be okay in here. Like, slip her a ginger snap, and yeah,
awesome.
Be happy with my job.
Mads, what for Missy Totes? What is the fallout of this betrayal? This triple cross. How does this play out for Missy Totes? Where do we see her at?
Missy Totes has actually come out of retirement. And instead of, well, hold on. It's like, I think instead of like just stealth on the shelf, I think there's like a sub part of the department that's been created specially for her and by her. Like that's like I don't have a clever name for it, unfortunately, but it's basically where, and this is how, and she's like, shaking a cookie at her students. And this is how you start off with the nice stuff, but then sometimes you gotta kind of go underhanded, just like the chocolate of this cookie right here. And then, like, to get on the good side, then you have to flip the cookie over, and then make sure you have like and then just like uses a lot of cookie terms too to show it's like how to do the triple cross. So she's teaching a bunch of these students, like whether there be cryptids or critters or like, little elves that don't know what holiday it is.
Yeah, like it like everything from like intro to naughty psychology all the way through like when someone becomes so naughty that it's almost nice, or they're nice but it's actually in order, like it's the deep level of learning also too of like, hey, where intro to naughty psychology is a very good thing.
And then basically it ends with like, like one of the students, like, showing a very good way of doing the triple cross. And then she says, "You got it. Have a cookie."
Awesome. I'm gonna say right now, they don't immediately find Yukon's body after all this happens. Yukon is initially missing.
You will get a post-credit scene.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, how are you dealing with things back at the North Pole? Having been reinstated to the nice list, not having to take the test, but also Yukon was not recovered afterwards. What are you up to?
Well, like most unappreciated geniuses of my time, my innovative thought leadership looked a lot like it just wasn't very good at my job. But through my hard work on this mission, I was able to show Santa that I actually know a lot, not only about building important corporate culture, but about other holidays as well. It was my recommendation that we open a new department, holiday relations, which I was then announced head of. This is a way for us to partner with other holidays throughout the year so people can feel Christmas 365 days a year. And it's we're having a little ceremony. I'm getting a fancy new badge. And I just feel the loss of my friend. And it's kind of weird because they want me to put my badge on the top of the tree, but I just can't reach it because I'm too small. And I say out loud, if only my friend Yukon were here. And I start crying, and it's very sad.
The great idea. The credits start to roll.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the credits, once most people have left the theater,
we see a scene of Yukon sitting in a bar somewhere warm. We have he has sheared most of his fur, and we see Rudolph walk into the bar, and he's like, "Kid, I want to offer you an opportunity to join a team." And it is.
Awesome. Man, can't wait to find out what happens there.
Very good.
Stinger.
This has been the Santa-Cide Squad. Yeah, I don't know. What do y'all do on cold streams? Do y'all talk about shit afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I had a good time. I got to be a weird little dude. Like, the more weird little dudes I can be, the happier I am.
Yeah. Shout
it.
out also to Brian, who in our Discord server was like, the only appropriate number of arms on a snowflake is 6. Everything else is a monstrosity. And I was like, that's a good plot beat. I'm gonna take that. We're gonna do that. So Brian, this was all for you.
I was like, I know I've seen someone say that recently, and I've been racking my head trying to figure out where, and it was literally the thing that led to
like,
this.
This is 50% of the plot I needed for our Santa-Cide Squad stream. There's snowflakes that are inherently good and snowflakes that are inherently bad, and how does that work? And apparently it's just that there are 6 points on something. And so, but yeah, that was all for, and that was like, well, it'll be a Jack Frost thing for sure. They're just going to take all the joy of snow. And I was like, oh, one of the bad guys I already wrote was Dr. Jacqueline Frost. Great. Wait, we're already set. Good job, past Tony.
Hell yeah,
Good job, that's Tony.
Well done.
But yeah, also Jeff Stormer just released a party of 1 episode where him and Brandon play Santa-Cide Squad GM-less also too. So they just roll up all
Nice.
There's a link to it in the description.
There we go. Awesome.
Ahead.
Nice.
But yeah, Sarah, absolutely love like the non-Christmas twist was super, and I was not prepared for Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash took me out.
That was beautiful. That was so beautiful.
I was trending really naughty, and so like the spirit, I'm like, I've established that he doesn't know anything about Christmas, and I kind of put myself in a bind here because like what holiday has songs? I'm like, there's only one. Like there's only one. It's like Scary Spooky Skeletons and Monster Mash, so I had to go for it.
I mean, I will say you could have probably, if you wanted to get nationalistic, you could have pulled out probably a 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's true. I could have
Star
gone.
Spangled Banner, you know.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah,
have
I
turkey
was-
lurkey time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Turkey
I
Lurkey time.
was. I stayed away from the 4th of July as much as possible. Though I'd like let Freedom Ring occurred to me would be a good like one-liner.
Yes.
But it had to be Monster Mash.
Easter songs would have been your other option, but also probably somewhat fraught. Also,
Yeah, it was like that's it. What I realized very quickly is that like a lot of holidays hold like major important significance for other people. So I'm like, we're just gonna keep it light.
New
Keep
Year. I
it
mean,
fun.
Old Lang Syne also too. You got New Year's.
Yeah.
you got New Year's
Oh,
songs.
Yeah.
Old
Well,
Lang Syne was good.
if Jacqueline had been redeemable, I feel like Fitz would have made the recommendation of how about we just make her in charge of New Year's Eve? Like let's do some rehabilitation. Let's give Jacqueline Frost her own holiday. Clearly,
You're gonna take it from Father
Got
Time.
motivation.
Father Time's old and he's tired. He needs some.
He's also
a couple
young.
years ago, Father Time did try to prevent his year from ending.
That's true.
And we had to forcibly turn him into a baby in one episode. So I mean,
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
that was the 2020 episode. Like he was trying to prevent himself.
Shit, I
his year
didn't know the
from
deep lore. This is on me.
the deep lore. But no, this was a ton of fun.
lore.
I loved the betrayal, Mads. It was amazing.
Mhm.
Like
I forgot
"What's
about it. I was like,
happening?"
why is Mads having a hard time? I was like, oh, because I told Mads that they're going to betray the team at some point in time.
I'm just like,
when's it gonna happen?
yeah, I know. It's like, okay, it's like I'm here.
Oh yeah, and I was like, I would have thrown it out at towards the end, but like it's fine, whatever, right? Like, and that's the first time that's ever happened on stream that I rolled that one, and I just rolled the D4 to see who it was 100% how that worked. But
Nice.
yeah, so there's always a twist in whatever it is. And so it could be that you've been set up. It could be like a number of other things, but one of them is one of you is a double agent. And so that did get rolled this time around. And so
Yeah.
I enjoyed getting to watch that kind of play out on stream a little bit too. So
I also love that Sousa was just doing his job. Like he was just doing security the whole time. Like everyone else is doing like hijinks, but Sousa's legitimately fulfilling his role of like making sure people stay safe. Like I'm lighting tents on fire, and like you're just like, no, let's just all in a calm, cool manner get where we need to go. And I loved that stable.
It's such a nice
energy.
change to just like play a dumb nice guy instead of like.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Like,
Yeah.
just like be the.
Yeah.
I
did
the dependable one.
Scared, but yeah.
Even the moment when you tried to hijinks and then failed the roll, and we're like,
that makes sense.
You just can't do it.
Nope.
It was very good.
It was
Yeah,
super
but
good.
very
It was super
beautiful.
enjoyable. But yeah, no, it is a fun game. It's really funny. Like Keegan in the chat was like, "Oh, I love an unseen." Like, I do anytime I run this game. It's super fun because you can roll up a lot of stuff and then just use a lot of paint the scene narrative tech and be like, everybody build in to a little bit of the scene, or like, hey, everybody, what's your favorite Christmas cookie? Let's put them on the tables. Like, it is a super fun way to just kind of very low prep GM. Dude, this is actually, I think this is the first game I ever released, like with design and everything else on it. Like I had the Beards and Beyond beta, and then the final version of that came out like 2 months after this. This was the first game I ever wrote. It's super fun.
It's a riot.
Yeah,
I love that every time it's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mark and Mads, for coming and playing with us.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it was
Welcome
great.
to the
Anytime.
cult. Welcome back to the cult.
Now this is really great. I mean, like, I love this, like, one shot. It's just like, barely any prep, if anything, and then just roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just come in and have a good time.
Exactly. No, it was great. I love goofy
Love
stuff
it.
like this.
Awesome. Well, with this, and when we're wrapping up, I'm going to start with Mark and Mads. Just if you want to tell the people one more time who you are, we'll go ahead and just go in reverse order. Start with Mark. Tell the people who you are, where they can find you, anything you want to promo.
Yeah, I'm Mark Major. I'm Major on Twitter and Itch. I stream. We're doing Thursdays now, I think, on Twitch. We're wrapping up our campaign of The Between. Super fun. But yeah, well, I'm just around. Check it out.
Awesome. And Mads.
Yes. So you can find me under Madeline Colley on Twitter as well as on YouTube. I have some actual plays of Merkborg, Paranormal Incorporated, and if I can ever just get my video editing team of one to get stuff done, then there'll be more content on my YouTube channel as well as my podcast, which is stories from Stories at Chaos Edge. Stories from Chaos Edge. I can never remember what the little preposition is. Oh my God, that's terrible. And yeah, there's 2 episodes on it now. So, like just check it out and just see how weird we get. So thank you.
Awesome. Tony, I know normally
It's whatever, y'all are in charge. You can find me online at +1exp across pretty much all social media platforms. Sometimes
Except for
stream,
Twitch, which you can find
except for Twitch,
Tony +1
right here.
which because we're here. Yeah, unless you're YouTube or your Facebook world.
We've got a lot of cool stuff coming out for the new year. Keegan, Sarah, and I have gotten a chance to talk through a lot of what our big plans are, some of the things we want to dive into, how our team is growing and changing here. We'll have a lot more games and other stuff coming out in the new year, print releases. The big things I think I want to shout out specifically are the Zemo content we're going to be doing. Zine Month is coming, which contains a bunch of events on different crowdfunding platforms like Zine Quest over on Kickstarter, Nonstop Tabletop over on Crowdfunder, which is a cool new platform, as well as being totally decentralized. So people may just release zines, other stuff like that, but it's a time that the indie RPG community gets together and just releases a whole bunch of small games, most of them trying to get into print for the first time. We do a lot of educational stuff here on the stream. So we'll have about 7 or 8 different pieces of content. If you're a small indie creator, want to know more about the indie RPG scene, it's a good time to learn a lot about the craft that goes into getting a game funded into print, anything from the actual print process, layout, funding, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be doing a series on that over the course of the next few weeks, along with playing and supporting a lot of those games. And then Keegan and Sarah and I are recording our best, most top 5 most enjoyed games of 2022 and our most anticipated game of 2023 videos that'll be coming out the next couple weeks.
Eventually. Don't rush us. Great. And then you can catch us. We'll be back tomorrow. We're doing Bring Me the Head of the Earthlings, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
My favorite game, maybe of all time. And we're playing it tomorrow.
Yeah. That's great.
Because it's Christmas. And
yeah.
You know.
It's the diehardification of Christmas on +1.
It'll be great. I'm excited. I'm jazzed about it. I'm Sarah. You can find me all the places at Osiris Franco. I already said that. And that's pretty much me.
Yeah. I think till next time, everyone. Have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the pizza.
Enjoy your pizza.
Yeah.